So in this video, I'm going to discuss how one person made 1.5 million% on their money. Now, here we are in Rome. Behind me is the Colosseum. And what happened here is back in the day, the rulers of this land had to create cheap entertainment called bread and circuses so that people weren't so distressed and wouldn't revolt too much against the devaluation of the currency, the denarius. The currency here started pure silver, and then slowly they diluted their currency, the rulers of the land. And this happens every single time. So they need to create cheap entertainment, distract the population from what's really happening in the hopes of the population just not caring too much and just being really stoked on, watching people die and stuff. This is how people work, their algorithm. This is how their brains work. And it happens time and time again throughout history. So this is the whole point of buying Bitcoin, is because we can escape that printing press called the Federal Reserve, and we can choose our own path in life. And as Obama once said, I think it's very dangerous for people to have a Swiss bank account in their back pocket. And the reason why they say that is because they don't want you to have very much freedom. Governments hate that. They want you to be enslaved. But let me go over some crazy news before I discuss this guy's 1.5 million percent gain, not dollar gain, but percent gain. Okay, so this is from Gabber Gubax on Twitter. He says the Pentagon failed its 7th audit in a row, unable to fully account for its more than $824 billion budget. Overall, the Pentagon is missing $4 trillion. That's 4,000 billion dollars. The audit cost the Defense Department, or taxpayers, $178 million and involved some 1,700 auditors. Now, what's interesting about this is I remember back when I first heard the Pentagon was actually losing money back the day before 9/11 in 2001. Where Donald Rumsfeld went on TV and said, hey, you know what, the auditing department said that we are missing $2.4 trillion. And then, interestingly enough, it was hit by something the next day, exactly at the accounting department. Very strange. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Okay, moving on, we have Microstrategy's $26 billion Bitcoin reserve surpasses IBM and Nike's cash holding. Now, I think it's going to be one of the most valuable companies in the world for sure, but I don't think it's going to be the most valuable company in the world just yet. Probably next bull market when we do hit $1 million a coin. That's what I think. And you think that I'm crazy for saying $1 million a coin next bull market? Well, think about it. It's like 10x from now. And if we go up to 200,000, it's 5x from there. That's pretty easy for it to do, especially with the whole world getting involved on it. So this is actually from the Bitcoin therapist to kind of reiterate what I just said. Friendly reminder, if the next 6 weeks plays out like 2020, we will see $140,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. Now, what happened in 2020? Bitcoin went from $3,500, a crash in March 2020, and then it proceeded to go to $69,000, which is kind of crazy, but that is actually the type of gains that you can see in this market. But keep in mind that we are like closing in on close to $2 trillion market cap. So, you're going to have the law of diminishing returns with this, because the higher the market cap goes, the higher it is for that market cap to double. For instance, it's easy for a market cap of $1 million to go to $2 million, more than a market cap of $1.8 trillion going into $4 trillion. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's move over to Senator Lumis, who wants to sell the Federal Reserve's gold to buy Bitcoin. This is according to Bloomberg. Now, first off, how do you know that they have any gold? They've never been independently audited. And secondly, remember that video I showed you of a reporter talking to Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, and he asked, hey, so if Trump wants you to resign, are you going to resign? He said, no. And he's like, you sure? Like, isn't that part of the law? No. And the way he said it just showed they have no power over the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve isn't going to go away peacefully. And they're not going to do anything that they do not want to do because, Senator Lumis is nothing to them. Neither is Trump. That's just why they've been in power since 1913. Okay, so moving on, we have Mike Alfred. I like this guy. He says gold now 24% year to date. Bitcoin up 105% year to date. So here's the thing. Like, I was trading gold and silver back in 2011. I remember gold being at 1,900 an ounce. So now we are not even $3,000 an ounce. So if you would have bought gold instead of Bitcoin, which was like just over $1, you would have missed out on a ridiculous amount of gains now that it's $90,000. So you tell me, what's a better inflation hedge? I know it's very controversial, but I'm very stern and very direct when it comes to what I think is a better store of value. Obviously, it's Bitcoin. There's no even denying it anymore. So moving on, we just had Bitcoin making its highly daily close in history at $91,058. Just keeps going up, right? Because of demand. If people want something that has limited in supply. Tell me the supply of gold. I would love to hear it in the comments below on facts. Okay, so let's move on to the last story of the day. We have this guy turned $120 into $179 million. Here's the thing, he held for 14 years. So he didn't look at graphs or anything. You know, a lot of traders, most traders are fake, as you probably know on Twitter, but in reality, you know, he held for 14 years because he understood the value of what Bitcoin is. And that is why I've been holding since 2012 and 13 till now. I haven't sold any Bitcoin because I actually believe in it. I actually understand how valuable it is. Imagine like selling diamonds, you know, back in before De Beers made the monopoly on diamonds. You know, before that, you could literally pick diamonds out of the riverbeds, and now you need machinery. But imagine selling all those diamonds, you know, right when it became slightly popular. Well, this is where we're at now with Bitcoin. We are at a point where central banks are printing so much currency that there's no way out. Doesn't matter if Trump gets in, doesn't matter if anybody gets in. They can't stop the Federal Reserve from printing and printing and printing, and they can't stop the very entity that's setting interest rates as well. So what can you do? You can buy Bitcoin, save yourself. If you do want to see what we're doing with our crypto, when we're buying, when we're selling, you're gonna want to see that. Check out learningcrypto.com. Enjoy the bread and circus in back of me, and don't be a part of that